Hey everyone, this is Mike, and I'm here with Isaac,
Mhm.
and we're here to talk about NBA The Run because apparently it is now in a closed beta test. This is a game that we've been looking forward to for quite some time,
You've been looking forward to. I don't really it's here.
you
It's
sure? I
there.
mean, well, obviously you're a big, sports fan, so
I
I
mean,
figured
yeah, I
you'd be
used to play it
be
though. I
good.
mean, I'm not like super excited that the NBA the runs out though, but it's it's here.
I mean, I'm not.
You're
To me, I
excited.
run. I
No,
mean,
you're
I'm
you're you're
excited
excited because it's going back apparently
to
to
yeah,
NBA street
street
days.
days. Yeah, I'm not a big like like sports watcher, but I am a fan of like
But it's
the
classic
arcade. Yeah,
back to the EA big days of
well,
like more the extreme arcadey styles of EA Sports Division.
yeah. I'm just into like more arcadey, more like over the top, like extreme sports style games in general,
Yeah.
like MA Street, XSX, all that stuff. And I was a big fan of another like basketball game, which I will get into in just a moment. But again, right now it's currently in a closed beta test, which unfortunately I found out too late. So right now I'm currently on the wait list for the beta. Hopefully they'll let me in soon. But at the moment, just like I'm currently out of luck. So
Because
I'm
this game
just
drops in next month, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
either June or
June.
July. Yeah,
June.
June. Oh, I'm
I
that's
believe
pretty
so.
soon. Uh,
So probably
it's
like what, maybe a 1 week beta test, and
yeah,
that'll
very
be
much
it. And
so.
then they launch the game.
It's kind of funny considering again just a lot of stuff I want to get into, but again, just judging from the gameplay that I've seen, if I could just click on this thing and just get it to go, there we go. Yeah. Um, yeah, it's just like from what I've seen from like the gameplay, it does seem like a spiritual successor to the NBA Street games. I think and maybe it's a little bit more closer to NBA Street 1 with a little bit of NBA Street 2 because yeah, NBA Street 1 was obviously like was obviously like exaggerated like sports, crazy moves and stuff like that. But NBA Street 2 went even more over the top with some of the moves you can pull off and stuff like that. Like you were literally bouncing the ball off like an opponent's head to do alley oops. You were like doing like alley oop pass, triple passes to your teammates and stuff like that. You were just doing all sorts of crazy stuff. And this game, it doesn't particularly look like it's going that crazy with the moves. So I would definitely say it's a bit closer to the first NBA Street rather than Volume Two, which is a little disappointing because I know a lot of people say that NBA Street Volume Two was like the best in the series, and I totally
Hmm.
get that. It
Yeah.
definitely had the most expressive gameplay, and V3 also had some crazy over the top stuff, but it kind of slowed the game down a little bit because of the whole like trick stick system, which I know a lot of people didn't like, and like the whole the way game breakers worked. And then there's NBA Street Home Court, which slowed the game down even more. And a lot of people didn't like that. And a lot of people said that was like pretty much the death of the series right there, which is unfortunate. But again, from what I've seen, it does look good. It does look promising. And I know a lot of people who currently have played the beta says that they're very quick to address concerns and with patches and whatnot. So they have been doing a fairly good job of making sure that the game is the best that it can be. And that's obviously really, really cool to see. Really, really cool that the devs are really trying their best to make sure that this is going to be a very awesome NBA game. Now, from what I heard, actually, is that the people who own the NBA license actually approached this studio first. They didn't actually like what usually like like a developer they usually try to go to someone for publishing rights, and publishing money. This studio got approached by the NBA, which is very interesting.
What's the name of the studio?
Play by play
Studios. Okay.
And again, this studio is formed by former devs that worked on the NBA Street series.
Yeah.
So yeah, them approaching them because I guess they had someone with the NBA license probably remembered this not the studio, but the people who worked on it.
The people that used to work with them back in the day.
Yeah, probably had some connections.
Yeah,
and reestablished that link in order to get the license, which is positive.
That's great.
Yeah, it is positive.
That's very good that someone was able to remember back decades when they made the series. So yeah, that's really good. And the fact that they were making a series, they were going to sit down and try to make their own version, and they're like, hey,
yep,
let's just lend you the NBA license at the end of the day, which I think was one of the reasons when they were first started with the game, because it used to be Run Got Next.
Yeah, it was originally called The Run Got Next,
and then I think they ended up pausing because of the NBA was able to hit them up, and they were able to rebrand it as NBA Run, which honestly I think it might actually be better because now it actually puts more legitimacy on the product.
Yeah,
if they were to go by the Run Got Next. Although, what I will say from the original trailer from the Run Got Next, I think it was a lot more. I would say it was a lot more. I think it was a lot more interesting than in the Run, because in terms of like the animations and different character designs, the NBA the Run though, it feels like everybody kind of looks the same. The way I'm looking at the game right now, and in terms of certain like game designs and how certain people move, there doesn't really seem to. It doesn't seem like every character, even though like you have different famous NBA players, it doesn't seem like everybody moves differently.
The characters, these players don't play to their actual real life counterparts.
Like Joel Embiid, the center, should move a little bit more lankier than the center versus say like an Anthony, Ant-Man, or even Steph Curry, who's a lot more lighter, should be a lot more speedier than say most characters at the moment. It just seems like animation wise, even the non-characters like the girls in there in the game, that was one of the things that kind of caught me off guard. Everybody just seems very like the same, so I don't know really what's in terms of their animation styles and the designs and stuff like that. So I think that was one of the biggest issues I had with the design of the game right now. It's kind of hoping they kind of lean more into like the exaggerated realistic style. I guess best example of that would probably be like a Street Fighter 6 in terms of how it's like a little bit cartoony though, but also has some semi-realism in it, if that makes any sense in terms of the animation and design. In terms, not in a fighting game, but to be able to incorporate that within the movements of certain characters and stuff like that.
I totally get you. Ironically, again, a game that kind of plays into what you're asking, with the players actually playing to their real life counterparts. There's a little game called like 3-on-3 FreeStyle, and even though it was a 3-on-3 street ball game, half court matches, the characters in the game actually had like positions just like actual basketball. Again, like you have characters that's a power forward. You have like again point guard, shooting guard, center, like small forward, like, and they all play like they would in an actual like basketball game, despite being like a 3-on-3. Like when you have a player who is a center, they stay near the net, they defend the ball. Again, you have the point guard that's facilitating and moving the ball around as much as possible. The shooting guard who plays on the outside, attempts to shoot threes and stuff like that. And it was really cool how 3-on-3 like FreeStyle managed to actually closely replicate the sport of basketball.
Well, even 3-on-3 didn't really replicate the sport of basketball because I mean, in terms of like position wise, like centers would be the people
and
that block the net.
Yeah,
point guards would be the ones that sit down and set up things. Like you have different styles of point guard. Well, versus an NBA, it's almost come to the point where it's almost like pretty much like
A
there's no
free for all.
less positionless basketball because now
Hmm.
you have like 7 feet guys that would normally would be considered centers. Now they can drain threes from the top of the key. So, and again, like even back again with the original NBA Street, like even like Shaq could have bombed from a three. So it again it's fitting more of the arcadey cartoon style of the series than anything else though. But like you said, 3 and 3 tried to honor more of the positions better than in their
Hmm.
game than what we're probably going to expect in NBA The Run. So
Hmm. Very much so. Again, this is a game that I played a lot of. I believe I played it for like over like a year and a half. I spent a lot of time playing this game back when. And this the thing is, this was a free to play game, and this is was made by Joy City. And anyone who knows Joy City and how they operate, they basically start the game off as a very consumer friendly free to play game, and then once the player numbers start dipping, they start going absolutely crazy with the monetization, and the game just became microtransaction hell. It got to the point where, like, again, the game and it eventually became what you described actual basketball is like now, where it's like positionless, because they had like stat boosts and like a card system where you could basically have your character play however you want. You could basically have a center that shoots threes, and you can have like power forwards that again just have the most amazing dribbling skills and stuff like that. It was just like it was just ridiculous, and obviously it costs a lot of money just to keep up and like play the game. And that's one thing that I'm actually worried about when it comes to this game, is mostly because they have the NBA license. And now that being said, the past NBA Street games also had the NBA license, and they were obviously very well received. But with this game, considering that we don't know what the monetization for this game is yet, I
mhm.
am extremely worried that this game is also going to become microtransaction hell, or at least like either it's going to be like 3-on-3 freestyle, or the NBA 2K games, which are also microtransaction hell. And
And I get it. That is the biggest concern too. Like the way that I even look at the game at the moment, it looks like it may be leaning free to play
yeah, I
based on its design. Like because again, this kind of goes back to more what I said earlier, how like the character animations, everybody looks kind of the same, and I guess in a weird way, it's that way you can kind of customize your own characters. There's a little bit more of a bend if you're able to do that. Um, so, but like again, like certain characters, like even a girl character should not move the same as a guy character in the game in terms of how animations are kind of being used right now. Again, it's more like again focusing more on the arcade style, but how this game is it's set up, and from what I have seen, it wouldn't shock me if it goes free to play. And like you said, and I think they already introduced a couple of characters too, because not only you can get different variations of LeBron James or Stephen Curry or any other
yeah, it's
characters,
just
and they haven't really introduced any like actual NBA legends, right? It's
yeah,
all
I
just
don't
modern. Everybody's just
yeah.
modern, and just kind of made up characters that were originally designed from the Run Got Next that just got imported into this version of the game.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. In fact, like, I was just flipping through the huge character rosters. Like, you could see LeBron James, and you have LeBron James 03. I'm just as a question. I'm wondering why they do this. I'm assuming the reason why they're doing like different versions of like the same like player. I guess it. I assume this is because like in 03, this is LeBron James in his peak, or when he had his best season.
That's when he was a rookie.
That
That's when
was a
it came
rookie. Oh,
out.
that's when he came out. Yeah, okay, I
No,
gotcha.
no. Actually, no. I disagree. 03. Yeah, yeah. No. That's when he. I think that's when he. Yeah, I think that's when he dropped to the league around 03, I believe. So yeah, I think it's like rookie. Yeah, they're kind of going in the way where you're gonna have um young and then
Young
current
and then current. Yeah, and
version.
yeah, again, just my biggest concern is don't go crazy with the monetization, especially with the NBA license. And it's kind of funny
I think that's what's going to
to
happen,
happen.
honestly,
It,
because if you're already offering two versions of LeBron James, something tells me that's what's going to go down the road. And then once that gets settled, then they'll introduce the NBA legends like Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and Charles Barkley and all these other, and Dikembe Mutombo and all these other classic
gotcha.
players. It seems like it may be leading down that pipe road
Because
if you want to be able to unlock all these NBA legends.
because if that's the case, then I already have a big example of that worry. Because when I was looking up like other like basketball games, I for some freaking coincidence I managed to run into another game that's basically a mix between this and 3-on-3 freestyle. Have you ever heard of a game called Dunk City Dynasty?
No,
Because apparently this is also an officially licensed NBA game that's only for mobile, and it's currently in 6 seasons right now.
I think I may have heard of it. Is there gameplay on this? I may have seen this. I may
Because
have seen some gameplay on it.
because like yeah, it's just like I could just show like real quick Dunk City Dynasty. It's just like oops, sorry, hit a thing, and it's just like you could see like again, it's a mobile game,
Yes,
but it looks
I have seen this.
almost
Yes,
like
three
three
on
on three
three.
freestyle,
Yes.
but with actual like
Yep.
NBA players.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, then and if this goes down this route, then this game is down. I'm just gonna straight up
Mm-hmm.
say it now.
Yep.
Because like the amount of microtransactions, daily logins, and like I really don't want this game to go down this route.
It might have a combination of. It may sadly have a combination of both. Like you may not need the microtransactions to sit down and enjoy the game, but there has to be some kind of monetization around to keep this game afloat. Because again,
and obviously, I'm not against them like making money, obviously, but let's just don't go, just don't like nickel and dime your player like to the nth degree because that's it's just
mhm,
you catch more flies with like honey than vinegar or whatever the
that
saying
doesn't
is.
matter. They want to, even with vinegar, they just still want your money at the end of the day,
Yeah, and
man.
again,
Like
I don't.
you look at what 2K's has been right now. It's pretty much has become like Warcraft, but with
Oh,
basketball
sorry.
pretty much at the end of the day. So,
It's just
where
like
the gameplay hasn't even gotten that much better too, unfortunately. So,
and
you know,
just like this game, this it's also doing like LeBron James like 2016. Dennis Rodman. Please in this game though.
yeah, but just to wrap it up a little bit at the end of the
Mhm,
day, but other than that, like I, it is cool to kind of see the game come back.
mhm.
I just thought I wanted to see a little bit more modern animations because I get it. It seems like it's trying to lean more of the
The
nostalgic
arcade,
feel from
yeah.
back of the 2000s, and that's totally fine though. But with today's technology, it would have been nice to see better modern animations that could have find that balance. Again, I go back to Street Fighter 6 and how they're able to kind of combine like real life movement, but still be able to make it exaggerated. If that's the feel that they're trying to go with this kind of game, that's the only thing that's kind of turning me off from the run. It just feels kind of generic and to the point that it does feel like it's going to be very free. Again, that's not to say that free games are bad. I play a ton of a lot of free to play games, but that's just the vibe I'm getting right now.
Well, again, we have no idea what monetization they're gonna go with. It's still kind of up in the air. And I mean, even if it's not free, this still game could still be microtransaction hell because again, NBA 2K that's not a free game, and you still it's still microtransaction hell. So
Mhm.
at this point, it doesn't matter if it's free to play or not.
Yeah.
Just don't nickel and dime players. That's all I ask. But overall, I mean, I am still looking forward to at least giving it a try. Hopefully they'll let me in because again I was late on signing up for the closed beta. But what do you think? I mean, are you interested in the run that got next? I mean, are you not interested in it? Have you gotten to the closed beta? And if you have, what do you think of it? Let us know. And if you like what we do here, please rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm Mike with Isaac, and we are saying peace.